Hello. So today I wanted to talk about something that occurred yesterday to me. And I have to preface it a little bit. Because some of you who follow me are probably aware of this, but some of you might not be. And that is that I was clairvoyant and whatnot, clairaudient, clairsentient. I was open when I was young, and had remained open up until my my 40s, and it was nothing special or extra. It was just like I didn't even know. I just thought everybody lived like that. No biggie. It wasn't until real recently that I realized, So anyway, it became a little bit much. My gift, the gift that God chose to bestow on me for some reason, became a problem for me, because I kept having these dreams and out-of-body experiences, and of disasters and just different disasters around the world. And I didn't really know what was going on at the time. I thought I was just cracking up. Like, it was so scary, and it was so traumatic every time I had one of these dreams. Now, I was used to having astral traveling and, very vivid dreams. And so I've run into just about anything you can think of in the astral realm. But and I was able to sort of make my way through my childhood while encountering all these weird things, and some of them scary. But for some reason, in my 40s, I started to have these disaster dreams, and I just couldn't deal with it. I just couldn't handle these dreams, or whatever these scenarios were. And I think it was like maybe two to 4 months in a row where I would have the dream at least twice, if not 3 times a week. And it was so frightening because I was in the dream. I wasn't just like seeing it from a distance. I was in the dream. I was at these places that disasters had just happened. And so and then dark things were always chasing me all the time. And so I remember one morning I woke up and I just said, I can't deal with this. I feel like I'm going to lose my mind if I have one more dream like this. I'm truly going to lose my mind. And I made an appointment with a psychologist and a psychiatrist, because I was truly thinking, because these dreams really got to me. Okay, suffice it to say, they really got to me. If you guys want more info on those specific dreams, and you want me to talk more or do a video more about those, I can. Just let me know down below in the comments box. But for now, I'll just say that they were bad. So I guess I had asked in my own way. I had asked God to stop these dreams, to stop this. I just can't do it anymore. And literally from that day, I stopped having those dreams. Okay, so that was about 8 years ago, maybe. Now, what happened is that I I lost the ability to astral travel. I lost the ability to remember my dreams at all. I had no more spiritual experiences. that included the good ones, were the ones I've talked about before, with God or with Jesus, and I talked about those videos before, and so those were gone too, the good ones. Everything was gone, and so immediately I felt so much relief. I was so relieved. I can't tell you. It was like a miracle to me. It was like a miracle to me, because how does that even work? I thought to myself, I just ask and then you do it. But I'm not surprised, because my life has always been like that. Whenever I've asked out loud, something just makes it happen. Call me crazy. I don't care. I was thinking about changing my YouTube name to that Crazy Lush Lady, or maybe like that Crazy Psychic Lady, or I don't know. Just an idea. So anyway, cut to today, 8 years later. And I had stopped meditating and such, and so I still had my clairsentience on and my claircognizance on. So I still was able to feel when spirits were around, and I could still see people's auras and stuff, but that was about it, which was fine with me. Because I actually got full night's sleep. I didn't wake up like this, and I mean, it was wonderful. But 8 years later, that wonderful became like a jail to me. It became something that would make me depressed, because I felt like I had lost my connection to spirit in general, meaning to the love and light of our Creator God. That's, and to Jesus and Yeshua, and to my guardian angels and my guides, and being able to, I don't know. It was a whole life that I had been living in the astral, and I loved every part of it, because I just loved it more than I loved living here in this third dimensional life all the time. So anyway, so I had decided that I had had enough of the not being able to remember my dreams, not astral traveling. I had decided lately that I wanted to try to open up that part of me once again, if it was appropriate to God. And I made sure that I stated that I only want this to happen if it was appropriate to the Creator. Because sometimes what we want and what needs to happen are two different things, and I realize that now. So anyway, so I started to meditate every day outside in the sun, and I started meditating regularly, and I started meditating in a different way. I didn't have my phone with me. Something said, don't even take your phone in the same room with you. Just do it outside and leave your phone in your bedroom or something. So I did. Also, I say this, I was told. That means that I don't hear someone going, hey, April, you should do this in my head. When I say I was told, I mean like it was impressed upon me in some discernible way that I should meditate outside since it was a sunny day, and that I should meditate on love and light and our Creator and my connection to Him. Not guides or not any other beings. So I was like, okay, that's different. So I'll do that then. So I closed my eyes, I sat in the chair, I started just breathing. That's all I start doing, is just breathing. And when I had thoughts in my head that would come up in my head, instead of trying to make the thoughts go away and still my mind, I would just notice the thoughts I was having, and I would just let them pass in my head like a cloud, pass by. I would just observe the thought that's in your head, until it goes away, and then you're back to meditating again. Instead of a thought coming when you're trying to meditate, and then you engaging in the thought, and then beating yourself up because you've engaged in the thought and now you're not meditating. You know what I'm saying? Just let it be like a cloud that you're observing. You don't want to see what's in the cloud. You're just watching the cloud go by. That's the thoughts in your head. That's what you should be doing, okay? When you meditate, just watch them. It's not trying to not have no thoughts. It's just being. Just let yourself just breathe and be in the silence. That's it. If you want to try and feel any kind of vibes, you can, but you don't really have to do that. You just be. It's kind of like being in nature. I don't know if some of you have gone just for a walk in the woods, or walk in nature by yourself when you were a kid or something, and you just sit there, under a tree and just sort of look at the sky and just, you know what I mean? It's like that. So I started doing that. And I started to, usually when I meditate, I either ask for things, or I ask I kind of state what I'd like to experience, or I'd like to see, or what I'd like to work on. Usually it's working on myself in some way, physically, like working on my lower back or that kind of thing. And just finding peace in general is what I meditate about. And so, but this time, this was the fourth time, I think it was the fourth time that I had meditated outside. And it had become rather windy. And I had my dog with me and the cat with me outside. Well, when it had become very gusty all of a sudden, when I was really getting into it, I could kind of tell when your third eye sort of starts to turn on when you meditate, because you get that visual flip. Does that make sense? Do you guys experience that? Those of you that meditate and your third eye is turned on, do you get that sort of visual flip, I call it, where your third eye just sort of flips and turns on? I don't know how to explain it. Where you know when it turns on because there's something going on with the way that you can see in your head. You can see it when it turns on. You know what I'm saying? That seeing when it turns on, that's what happened. So I was like, okay, so I must be doing something right. And basically, I just felt this intense love and light. I just felt just very intensely love and light, and I felt like I was being worked on in my chakras, particularly my first, second, and third chakra. I felt a lot of work being done there in my actual chakra areas. And it felt like tingling, like a warm, loving tingling, very gentle. And I'm still, eyes closed, just thinking nothing in particular, the sun shining on me. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm starting to feel lighter, and I just feel love, basically. And then it starts gusting, so I said, okay, well, that's enough. It's been 20 minutes. Let's go inside. So I gather my dog and cat and everything, and I come inside, and I say to myself, well, I'm just gonna lay down here on the couch in the sun and finish my meditation and see if I can just meditate a little bit more. So I began to do that, and as I was laying there, that brief moment when you're between being awake and right before you fall asleep, there's that tiny window. That happened, and I had a vision. I had a full-on psychic vision. So I was just seeing nothing like I always do. I'm looking into blackness. My eyes are, my eyelids are closed, but I'm looking, and I'm just peering into peering into nothingness or nowhere, because my eyes are closed. And I saw a desk and a hand with a pen or a pencil writing, and it wrote the words, and they were big, like in my field of view, the letters are big, and it said, "You can trust yourself." And I remember, I was like, the feeling I had at the time was like, I was just like, I'm seeing this. Like, I'm actually seeing this. I just saw what I saw. I really did see that. And then right away I said, "Oh shit, you're starting to forget. Remember what it is. Remember what's written down. Remember, or else you're going to forget." So I made sure, and I looked again at the piece of paper in my vision, and it said, "You can trust yourself." So right away I got out of I opened my eyes, and I went to go get my iPhone, and I got in my notes part of my iPhone, and I typed that in, "You can trust yourself," and put it in my notes so that I wouldn't forget. I was so afraid I would forget. I had my first vision, and I was like, oh, that would be like me to forget what it was on it. You know what I mean? And I didn't want that to happen, so that's why I made sure and written that down somewhere. So after I got over the shock, and it took like an hour of getting over the excitement, the joy, and the shock of actually having a vision again after so many years, I began to realize what the message said. You can trust yourself. You can trust yourself. You can trust yourself. I mean, it's such a positive message. And it was given to me, the vision was given to me in such a way that there could be no mistaking what I saw. And I know that sometimes when I've asked to have my third eye open, or when I've asked for a sign from God in some way, I've always, asked to give me a sign in a way that I will absolutely know that it's a sign. And this was so in my face. Like, it was so in my face. It was so clear. It was incredible. So yeah, there was that. So I began to meditate, or actually just think and ponder about what that sentence means. You can trust yourself. And I knew innately, I didn't have to think about it. I just knew, more like a feeling, that I constantly question myself. I question myself at least 100 times a day. Okay? That's just who I am. Now, I don't know if that's because I was raised by a narcissist or what, or if it's just my particular personality makeup. I don't know. But that makes up a large part of my day, is second guessing myself about, anything and everything that I plan on doing that day or the day after, or everything. I just constantly second guess myself. I second guess the way I'm thinking. I second guess the way I'm acting. I second guess what I'm saying, what I'm posting. I mean, I'm not quite paranoid, but I don't know. I think I'm harder on myself sometimes than what God is on me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what they were saying. And also, I had been wondering if what I'm getting, what I've been getting of late, claircognizantly, was real. And that was one question that I just constantly have, is what I think I'm getting clairsentiently or claircognizantly from you, is that real, or is that in my head? So you can trust yourself. I think it meant trust what you are seeing, trust what you are experiencing, trust your inner decision-making skills, trust your your etiquette skills, trust your ability to be kind to people, trust your ability to self-correct yourself without having to constantly be on guard and beat yourself up over the self-correction behaviors. So, in other words, he's saying it was so empowering it was so empowering. That one small sentence was so empowering to me because I knew it was coming from God and I knew it was personally for me. And it was so empowering knowing that I could trust myself. I don't have to validate myself with other people. It's very freeing and very empowering. And I don't mean in an ego way. I mean in a third chakra, second and third chakra kind of a way. In that creativity kind of a way. I'm free now to create what I want to create and just go for it and not have to be hesitant about it if it's right or not. And that's how I took the message. And so, also, meditating is changing me somehow. Now that I'm meditating on a regular basis, so I can only imagine what it's going to be like when I do it with any kind of regularity. This is only like my 4th day, but I'm just so grateful because, like I told my husband, even if just that happens and nothing else happens, at least I know that I still have that connection, that the connection isn't gone. I didn't do something wrong or wish it away when I shouldn't have, or been ungrateful for my gifts, or you know what I mean? It was all okay. Whatever I did at the time that I needed to do was okay. That's basically the message. And I think that might be a message for some of you watching as well. Or at least that's what I got. It was impressed upon me to make this video. So I'm making the video. I don't know why I'm making this video, but I am. And so I was really excited. And now, naturally, I went to bed last night and then woke up this morning and didn't remember my dream or anything like that. But I think that might come in time. I think when we ask for instance, when I asked for my first, second, and third chakras to be cleared and balanced, I think they literally really did immediately started working on that. And I think that was part of that message, this empowering your inner creativity and your inner sort of trust in yourself come from the second and third chakras. So, and I've been feeling an incredible, I don't know about you guys, but I have been feeling an incredible amount of energy in this area. Let's see if I can stand up and show you. Like from my upper, like from about right here to like kind of like a little bit maybe above my belly button. Like, oh my goodness. Like sometimes you can just feel it, and it feels like you're at a spa. It feels like a spiritual massage is what I call it, because it feels gentle and wonderful and loving and warm and tingly and gentle. So that's all I had to say. I was impressed upon me that I had to share that, so that's why I made this video. And so if you guys have any questions about anything that I've said in this video, please don't hesitate to comment below and ask, or message me, or what have you. If you want me to expand on anything I've said, just let me know by commenting. And thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon on the next video. Bye-bye.